I can't believe that I have a Russell's 15 right now. This is my unicorn of 2024. I have never had FOMO about any bottle before, and I am ecstatic to be able to bring you guys this review. Welcome back to another episode of Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and today we've got the Russell's Reserve 15 year. Now, I know everybody's probably aware of this bottle. This is probably one of the most highly anticipated releases of this year, and this is the only bottle that I've ever had FOMO about not being able to attain. The Russell's 13 is just an incredibly special bottle to me. I'm a massive fanboy of that entire line. And so when I learned about this 15 year, I just had to have it. Now, I was able to acquire this bottle. I was able to get it offline. It was a bundle deal. I had to buy this Russell's 15 along with 3 other Russell's products. It was like $379. So like all things considered, like I was able to get this bottle basically at MSRP plus shipping. So wildly fortunate to have this bottle on my table right now to be able to bring you guys a review. Now, if you don't know, the Russell's mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley, and I just can't wait any longer. Now, I'm sure most people know by now, but so the 15 year is a limited release coming out. So we don't know if the 15 year is going to be the age statement going forward or if they're going to be reverting back to the 13 year next year. But we do know is that this bottle is comprised of 15-year-old and 16-year-old bottles. 15 and 16-year-old barrels. The goal of this release is to show a truer form to the 15-year-old age statement posted on this bottle. So as many of you may know, the Russell's 13 year is comprised of much older whiskey than just the 13 years on the age statement. Like batch 1 and 2 was a blend of 13-year and 19-year-old whiskeys. Batch 3 was 13, 19, and 20-year-old whiskeys. Batch 4 and 5, those the barrel counts weren't listed. So, but just by looking at this bottle, holy smokes, it's dark. For comparison, this is a Russell 13 batch 1, and then as well, you have the batch 4 here too. The 15 year is considerably darker than both of these as well. I do have some of the batch 5 poured up just for a little bit of a comparison, but let's just go ahead and pour some of this into the glass. This is man, that is pretty fruity there just coming off of the bottle. So anyways, let's go ahead and give it a swirl and see what we got. Wow. Man, so it's a very, reminiscent of, the Russells. So you are picking up like a little bit of that rice spice. That seasoned oak is shining through, but it is an incredibly fruity, fruit-forward nose. Man, you can tell there's going to be some deep brown sugars on this, but yeah, so like that berry note is just exploding out of the glass. You can you're picking up some like that depth of like oak there on the nose. It's coming through like very seasoned. Getting some of those brown sugars and cinnamons there. So, I mean, just like absolutely just exactly what I would be hoping to be getting out of a Russell's, premium Russell's product. Anyways, guys, off to the palate. Cheers. Wow. That's like one of my favorite things about just like the Russell's, 13s just in general is I thought it just delivered on just like this robust, dense, like sweet oak profile with a bunch of like red berry notes, which like is exactly what is being delivered on this. But like that oak profile coming across is just like a denser, like more seasoned oak. It's not as like heavy and robust as like a sweet oak profile. It's a little like darker and richer and more of like the spicier cinnamon notes there, along with like that rich oak profile. And like that, those berry notes. Man, that's great. So like the red berry notes just like immediately smack you like right up front. And then it's just like so much of like that rich oak going over into the mid palate. It's not drying at all, but it's just like a seasoned, like dustier, more leather and like tobacco notes there than like you're like the typical like over robust like sweet oak, like what I'm used to with these 13 years. So I think that's like a big like differentiation, you know, in this 15 year. Man, that just like dense like vanilla cream puff note that like I'm picking up in the middle of that palate is so good. So this is coming in at 117.2 proof versus the 114.8. So you're getting a tick up a little bit in proof here just by looking at the glass. Like those are legs for days. Like all in all, like I think this is an exquisite pour, and it lives up to the hype, for at least what I had built up for this bottle, to be a great addition to the Russell 13 line. Now I don't think like that like robust red berry note is like quite as punchy as I had remembered from some of those other Russell's 15s. Like specifically like batches 4 and 5, I thought were a lot sweeter in terms of like a berry forward profile. I thought that 2 and 3 were like way more heavier on the oak presence. And then this batch 1, I just got it, so I haven't had an opportunity to compare that to the others. But I do have batch 5 poured up right here, and I do want to do just a quick little comparison for you guys. Oh, wow. Man. Yeah, so I'm getting like a lot more like vanilla and caramels, on this one with some more red berries, but it definitely smells like a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit sweeter, But I mean, still like a fantastic nose. You can definitely tell these two are brothers. Anyways, off to the palate. Cheers. So coming off of that batch 5, like it is way more like vanilla caramel heavy, like way more vanilla than like I remember. And like that berry note isn't quite as robust as I was remembering it to be. And like the oak presence on this is definitely, pretty oak forward, but the oak is coming across in like a lot more like black peppery, like spicy, dense oak there versus in this, the Russell's 15, where it's more like an aged seasoned oak, which was more like cinnamons and leathers with like almost like a slight drying characteristic there, but like not bitter at all. So like those are kind of like the quick distinguishing factors between these two. Let's just go back to the 15 year one more time. Yeah, so like the 15 year like has that berry note, but it's just like a quick pop right up front, and then it really like fades over into like that like rich vanilla cream puff there, and then it's like in the mid palate it's like split with vanilla cream with all that like super rich seasoned oak, and you're getting like those leathers and like that cinnamon spiced oak there on the finish. It's just so nice. Like I think that like both of these are quite incredible. I think you're getting a little bit more like refined notes like in the 15 year than I was on like that 15 year batch 5. I think this batch 5 is just a lot sweet, carries a lot more like sweet forward notes, which, is fantastic. It's, still one of my favorite bottles like of all time. I just think you're getting a little bit richer, denser, darker characteristics coming through in this 15 year. Now, this was a fresh crack, and I can't wait to let this bottle open up a little bit because I bet the sweeter notes are going to start to come out, and it's going to really be an absolute beast. Now, what can I say that, like, off my first impressions that I think that this 15-year absolutely smacks away the Russell 13? I can't say that. I think you're getting a little bit more, like, enhanced, deeper notes, but, like, I don't think that, like, you could say that, like, this bottle is incredible and this 15-year or in this 13-year is, like, crap, or, like, this 15-year completely outshines the 13-year. I just think it's just kind of like in its own little category off to the side of the Russell's 13 line. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, would you please consider giving me a like? Would you please consider subscribing? And as always, my name's Tanner. This is Neat Bourbon. And pop the bottles and share the pours. And we'll see you in the next one.